Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I want to talk to you tonight about a truth so simple, yet so powerful, that it can take your deepest desire and shape it into reality. One sentence, just one divine affirmation, has the power to open the gates of abundance, to turn the invisible into the visible, and to call forth the life you've been longing for. For too long, many have believed that desire is something far away, something you must chase. But Florence Scovel Shinn taught us that when the word is spoken with faith, when it is declared with certainty, the universe must obey. Desire is not a dream to be postponed. It is a seed waiting for the right word to bring it to life. And tonight, I want to show you how one sacred sentence can unlock the treasures of your own soul, align you with divine law, and transform your wish into your world. The spoken word is your wand, and when you understand this truth, you begin to realize the immeasurable power that lies in every declaration you make. Words are not mere sounds that disappear into the air. They are commands. They are creative decrees. They are laws set into motion. Florence Scovel Shinn often reminded us that our word is our wand, and just as a magician waves a wand to produce the impossible, you and I wave our words to produce the life we desire. To speak with faith is to summon the unseen, to call forth from the invisible supply into visible form. Everything you see in this world was first spoken, declared, affirmed, long before it appeared. Nothing comes by accident, nothing comes by coincidence, it comes by word and by law. When you speak with doubt, your words are empty shadows, powerless and uncertain. But when you speak with faith, conviction, and absolute assurance, your words become substance, they take on flesh, they create form. The spoken word is not a suggestion, it is a command, and the universe itself is compelled to respond to it. This is why the careless word produces careless outcomes, and the intentional word produces intentional blessings. To say, I am wealthy, with full belief is to call wealth out of the unseen, to make it a part of your vibration, to engrave it on your subconscious. To say, I am healthy, with confidence is to align your body with the truth of vitality. The world mirrors back to you what you boldly speak, and it obeys the law that your word sets forth. Every great spiritual teacher has taught the power of the spoken word. Let there be light was not a suggestion, it was a decree, and light appeared. In your own life, let there be abundance. Let there be love. Let there be success. Is no less powerful when spoken with the same certainty. Your word carries the energy of creation. Most people, however, use their wand against themselves. They speak words of lack, of limitation, of defeat, and then wonder why life seems to deny them. They declare, nothing ever works out for me, and the law, faithful to every command, echoes it back into their experience. They speak, I am unlucky, and luck flees from them. They say, I cannot afford it, and their supply is shut off. Without realizing it, they have waved their wand against themselves, and the universe has obeyed. The word spoken in faith has no obstacles. It cuts through barriers, it rearranges circumstances, it brings opportunities in unexpected ways. If you want to change your life, begin by changing your word. Do not speak of lack, speak of supply. Do not speak of sickness, speak of health. Do not speak of fear, speak of faith. Your spoken word sets the tone for your life. It builds the walls around you or tears them down. You cannot speak failure and expect success. You cannot speak doubt and expect faith. You cannot speak defeat and expect victory. The law cannot be mocked, it simply obeys. The spoken word is creative energy in action. It is thought clothed in sound, and sound is vibration. Every vibration attracts its likeness. When you declare, money comes to me easily and effortlessly, you set a vibration that calls forth prosperity. When you affirm, doors of opportunity swing wide open for me, you align yourself with circumstances that fulfill those very words. It does not matter how impossible it looks in the outer world, for the word, once spoken with faith, begins to work in the unseen until it takes form in the seen. The invisible supply is unlimited, but it requires a spoken command to move into your life. Too often people wait to see before they speak, but the law works in reverse. You must speak before you see. You must declare before it appears. You must affirm before it is evident. Faith is speaking the word as if it is already done, and the universe rushes to make it so. The word spoken with doubt delays, but the word spoken with assurance accelerates. Every miracle begins with a word. Every breakthrough begins with a declaration. Every dream fulfilled begins with a sentence spoken boldly. Therefore, guard your words as you would guard your treasures. Let your tongue become the instrument of your faith, not of your fear. For the spoken word is your wand, and it is through this wand that you command life itself. Desire is divine guidance, pointing you toward what is already yours. It is not an accident that you feel a longing, a pull, a vision of something more. That desire is not planted by chance. It is the whisper of the infinite telling you that what you want is possible, that it belongs to you in the unseen, waiting for your recognition. Many people mistake desire for lack. They think it is a sign of something missing in their lives, but in truth, desire is evidence of supply. You could not desire what does not exist. You could not hunger for something that is not already prepared for you. The very fact that the desire has entered your heart is proof that the thing desired has already been created for you in the invisible realm. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that every desire is a divine idea seeking expression. The moment you feel the desire for health, for abundance, for love, for success, it is not simply a fleeting wish. It is the divine guiding you to claim what is rightfully yours. The universe does not tease you with dreams it cannot deliver. It does not plant visions that have no fulfillment. Desire is the map, the compass, the inner guide leading you to the treasures prepared for you. Instead of dismissing desire or feeling guilty for it, you must honor it. You must recognize it as guidance. Too many people bury their desires under fear and doubt, telling themselves it is too much, too impossible, too far away. Yet every time they do this, they silence the voice of divine direction. When you understand desire as guidance, you no longer struggle with whether you deserve it. You realize that if you were not meant to have it, you would not even feel it. The desire itself is the confirmation. Desire for joy means joy is yours. Desire for prosperity means prosperity is waiting. Desire for love means love is already circling toward you. Desire for success means success is not only possible but inevitable if you will claim it. What blocks most people from experiencing their desires is not the absence of supply, but the absence of belief. They resist their own good. They close the door on the very thing that is knocking to come in. Desire, when acknowledged and affirmed, grows stronger. It begins to draw to you the people, the circumstances, the opportunities that lead to fulfillment. It magnetizes your mind. It tunes your vibration to match the thing you seek. You become like a radio tuned to the right station, and what was once static suddenly becomes clear reception. If your desire is for freedom, the more you affirm and believe it, the more the universe will align to set you free. If your desire is for abundance, the more you hold it in faith, the more channels of supply will open. If your desire is for peace, the more you speak it as your truth, the more peace will flow into your life. It is only when people deny their desires, push them down, or speak against them that they block the flow. They say, "I can't have it," and the door closes. They say, "It's not possible for me," and the guidance stops. They say, "I don't deserve it," and they shut themselves off from their own inheritance. But when they shift their perspective and see desire as divine guidance, everything changes. They stop resisting and start receiving. They stop questioning and start affirming. They stop chasing and start attracting. The desire leads them step by step, like a guiding light, into the manifestation of the very thing they long for. Every great invention, every success story, every transformation began with desire. The seed of a desire grew into the tree of accomplishment. The dream of a better life became the reality of a new world. No one accomplishes anything without first being stirred by the feeling of wanting more. That feeling is not selfish, it is sacred. It is the divine pulling you upward, lifting you higher, expanding your capacity to receive. Desire is not a weakness, it is strength. For it is the signal that more is meant for you, that more is waiting to come into your hands. To honor your desire is to honor the divine within you. To affirm your desire is to affirm the truth of your being. To follow your desire is to follow the path that was already prepared for you. When you recognize desire as divine guidance, you stop seeing it as longing and start seeing it as direction. You stop treating it as a fantasy and start treating it as destiny. For every desire that enters your heart is already yours in spirit, and it is guiding you faithfully toward its perfect manifestation. One sentence of truth cancels out 1,000 fears and doubts, because truth carries a vibration that no illusion can stand against. Fear thrives in the shadow of uncertainty, doubt grows in the soil of confusion. But the moment truth is spoken with conviction, it sweeps away every lie like light dissolves darkness. You do not need endless arguments. You do not need hours of convincing. You do not need mountains of evidence. One sentence of truth spoken in faith is enough to silence the roar of fear and calm the storm of doubt. That is why affirmations, when spoken with authority, are not mere words. They are decrees that transform the mind and shift the atmosphere. Think of the times in life when fear has whispered its many lies. You cannot succeed. You will fail again. You are not worthy. You are not strong enough. It will never happen for you. Those voices do not stop on their own. They multiply, they echo, they grow louder the more you listen. But the moment you stand and speak one truth, I can do all things through the power within me, or everything I need is already mine, or I am divinely guided and supplied, the lies lose their grip. Fear has no strength of its own. It borrows its strength from your agreement. The moment you withdraw your agreement and declare truth, fear collapses. Doubt may try to argue, it may present facts, it may parade evidence, but truth does not debate, it simply stands. One sentence of truth creates clarity. It cuts through the fog of uncertainty like a sword. It clears the path before you. You do not need to know how everything will work out. You only need to declare the truth that it already has in the unseen. When you say, "What I seek is seeking me," you align yourself with the law of attraction and the law of supply. When you say, "My good cannot be taken from me," you affirm that what is yours will always find its way. When you say, "I walk in divine favor," you shut the door on doubt that tells you you are alone and unsupported. One clear truth outweighs 1,000 doubts because truth resonates with the eternal, while doubt is only temporary noise. Your subconscious mind responds most powerfully to truth spoken with emotion. Doubts may swirl in your conscious mind, fears may knock at the door, but when you speak a sentence of truth with feeling, it penetrates the subconscious and plants a seed. That seed, once planted, grows stronger than any doubt because it aligns with universal law. For example, you might feel the fear of financial lack trying to overwhelm you. It brings with it endless doubts. What if I lose everything? What if I never make enough? What if I fail? Instead of wrestling with each "what if," you speak one sentence. Infinite supply flows to me now. That sentence cancels every fear because it shifts your focus from limitation to abundance, from doubt to faith, from lack to fulfillment. The power of one sentence is that it is simple. The mind does not need complexity, it needs clarity. When you hold one truth and speak it again and again, it becomes stronger than the scattered doubts. Doubt scatters your energy in 1,000 directions, but truth gathers your energy into one focused stream. A stream of focused energy is far more powerful than a flood of scattered thoughts. It is not about how many words you speak, It is about the certainty with which you speak them. That is why a single affirmation, repeated with conviction, can do more than pages of explanations. When you speak one sentence of truth, you are not just talking to yourself, you are declaring to the universe, and to your subconscious, and to every circumstance around you. You are establishing a law that everything must obey. If you declare, "I am divinely protected," then every fear of danger must bow to that truth. If you affirm, "I am guided step by step," then every doubt about what to do next is silenced. If you state, "I am always provided for," then every anxiety about lack is dissolved. It only takes one sentence because truth does not need support. It carries its own authority. The practice is not in finding 1,000 truths, but in finding one and holding it. When you choose one sentence that resonates deeply with your soul, and you speak it daily, you anchor yourself in truth. Fear may try to rise, doubt may try to distract, but the anchored word keeps you steady. Over time, the sentence of truth becomes stronger than the habits of fear. It becomes automatic, it becomes your inner voice. And when your inner voice speaks truth without effort, doubt no longer has a place to live. This is why people who walk in great faith often hold to one or two sentences that guide their lives. They may say, "All things work together for my good," or "Nothing can stand between me and my destiny." They do not try to fight every fear individually. They simply hold to their truth, and in doing so, they conquer them all. One sentence is enough, because truth is eternal and unshakable, while fear and doubt are temporary illusions that cannot withstand the light. The subconscious obeys the command of the conscious word, for it does not argue. It does not question, it simply accepts and acts. Your conscious mind is the gatekeeper, the director, the one who decides what instructions are sent inward. And once a word or affirmation passes through, the subconscious takes it as law and begins to shape your reality accordingly. This is why words are so powerful, because they are not just sounds on your lips, they are codes, they are instructions to the deepest part of your being. When you say, "I am strong," your subconscious does not stop to debate whether you feel weak in the moment. It begins to rearrange your inner world to align with strength. When you say, "I am successful," even if outward appearances show failure, the subconscious does not care about appearances. It takes the word and works behind the scenes to bring conditions, opportunities, and ideas that support success. Florence Scovel Shinn reminded us again and again that the subconscious is like fertile soil. Whatever seed you plant in it will grow, whether it be the seed of fear or the seed of faith, the seed of failure or the seed of success. The soil does not argue with the seed, it simply produces after its kind. When you plant words of lack, "I never have enough," "Money always slips away from me," "Life is unfair," those words sink into the subconscious and grow into experiences that match them. When you plant words of abundance, "I am always supplied," "Money flows freely to me," "Everything works in my favor," the subconscious brings those truths into manifestation. The subconscious obeys without question, and this is why you must be careful and intentional with every word you speak. Most people are careless with their words, and they wonder why life seems to work against them. They say things like, "I always get sick," "Nothing ever works out," "I'm so unlucky," and they laugh it off as casual talk, but their subconscious does not recognize humor or sarcasm. It takes everything literally, and so it begins to bring those words to life. They unknowingly program themselves for the very outcomes they fear. Others, however, speak life into their situations. They declare health, wealth, love, and peace, even when circumstances appear the opposite. And because the subconscious is faithful to obey, it begins to draw those conditions into being. Your conscious word is the command, and repetition is the reinforcement. The more often you speak a word, the deeper it sinks into the subconscious. This is why affirmations are so effective. not because the words themselves are magical, but because they impress upon the subconscious a repeated command until it becomes reality. The subconscious creates habits, and habits create destiny. If you repeat a phrase of doubt long enough, it becomes your habit of thought, and your life reflects it. If you repeat a phrase of truth long enough, it becomes your habit of belief, and your life transforms because of it. The subconscious is also connected to the universal mind, the field of infinite intelligence. When you speak a conscious word, the subconscious not only reshapes your inner state, but also communicates with the unseen forces of the universe to arrange circumstances in your favor. If you affirm, "I attract right opportunities," the subconscious begins to filter your awareness, guiding you toward possibilities you would have otherwise missed. If you say, "I am surrounded by supportive people," the subconscious tunes your vibration to attract those very relationships. It is not magic. It is law, the law of mind action. What makes this so profound is that the subconscious never rests. It works day and night, 24 hours a day, carrying out the commands it has been given. Even while you sleep, it is at work, fulfilling the blueprint you have spoken into it. This is why it is powerful to affirm truth before going to bed, for the subconscious will carry those words through the night, planting them deeply and setting unseen forces into motion while you rest. Likewise, the words you speak upon waking set the tone for your entire day, because they give the subconscious its orders. When you grasp this truth, you begin to treat your words with reverence. You no longer speak defeat. You no longer indulge in complaining. You no longer declare lack, because you know that every word spoken is an order to the subconscious. You choose instead to give commands that align with your desires, commands that match the life you want to create. You say, "I am guided," and guidance comes. You say, "I am abundant," and abundance flows. You say, "I am healed," and health rises up within you. You say, "I am loved," and love appears in expected and unexpected ways. The conscious word is the master, the subconscious the faithful servant. It is always listening, always obeying, always creating in accordance with what it receives. The only question is whether you are giving it commands of fear or commands of faith, commands of defeat or commands of victory. When you understand that the subconscious cannot disobey the conscious word, you realize that the key to transformation is not in struggling against circumstances, but in mastering the words you speak. Every word you speak sets unseen forces into motion, for speech is vibration, and vibration travels far beyond what the human eye can see. Words are not empty sounds, they are currents of energy, shaping the invisible and directing it into form. When you speak, you are not simply expressing a thought. You are commanding unseen powers, you are impressing your intention upon the universe, and the universe must respond. Florence Scovel Shinn revealed that the moment a word is spoken in faith, it begins to move through channels you cannot see, touching people, stirring opportunities, aligning circumstances, and preparing the way for its manifestation. To speak is to set creation in motion, and nothing you say is without effect. Most people underestimate the weight of their words because they cannot see the immediate ripple. They speak casually of lack, of fear, of failure, and wonder why those very conditions repeat in their lives. They fail to understand that each word carries a vibration, and every vibration attracts more of its likeness. To say, "I never have enough," is to release a vibration of scarcity, and the unseen forces around you begin to align with scarcity. To say, "I am always overlooked," is to send forth a vibration that draws more rejection. But when you shift your words, you shift your vibration. And when you shift your vibration, you shift the unseen forces that govern your experience. The word, "I am provided for," releases a vibration of abundance, and suddenly new doors open. The word, "I am worthy of love," sends out a signal that draws loving people into your life. Every word is like a seed released into the field of the unseen, and that seed must sprout according to its kind. If you sow words of faith, you will reap experiences of faith. If you sow words of doubt, you will reap conditions that match doubt. The law cannot be mocked, it is consistent, impartial, unbreakable. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn warned against idle words, because there is no such thing as a word without consequence. Even when you speak thoughtlessly, the unseen forces are set into motion. They do not wait for you to be serious, they simply respond to what is spoken. The unseen is always listening, always ready to obey. Angels, opportunities, energies, and laws of attraction all take their cue from the vibration of your words. The moment you declare, "I am divinely guided," paths begin to open that you could not have planned yourself. When you affirm, "Everything is working out for my good," unseen forces rearrange circumstances to fulfill that truth. When you say, "I attract success in every endeavor," people and opportunities are drawn to you as if by magnetism. The power is not in wishing silently, but in speaking boldly, for the spoken word carries vibration farther and faster, like a stone cast into water sending ripples across the entire surface. It is important to understand that unseen forces are neutral. They do not decide what to create, they simply take instruction from you. If you send out words of defeat, they align with defeat. If you send out words of victory, they align with victory. This is why consistency in your speech matters so greatly. You cannot declare truth one moment and then contradict it the next with words of fear. When your words are consistent, the unseen forces gather momentum, building stronger and stronger currents that carry you to your desired outcome. Repetition strengthens the unseen activity, just as waves strengthen the shore over time. A single declaration is powerful, but repeated declarations compound, intensify, and anchor the vibration into your reality. This is why affirmations are more than simple encouragement. They are instructions repeated until the unseen has no choice but to conform. If you speak health daily, your body aligns with health. If you speak wealth daily, your life aligns with prosperity. If you speak peace daily, your environment begins to reflect harmony. The unseen cannot resist, because it is bound by law to obey the vibration of your words. People often wait for circumstances to change before they change their speech, but the order is reversed. Speech changes first, then circumstances. You do not say, "I am wealthy," because you already see wealth in your bank account. You say it to command unseen forces to bring wealth into manifestation. You do not affirm, "I am healed," because symptoms are gone. You affirm it so unseen energy aligns with healing. Faith is not speaking what you see, it is speaking until what you see changes to match your words. The unseen forces move in response to your decree, and then the visible follows. This is why you must guard your mouth as carefully as you guard your thoughts. Every casual complaint, every careless remark, every spoken fear is an order placed with the universe. To speak with wisdom is to plant wisely, to declare carefully, to align your words with the life you desire. For every word you speak sets unseen forces into motion, and those forces do not rest until they have fulfilled their assignment. Speak the end as already accomplished, and the universe rushes to fulfill it, for the law of life responds not to your fears or your doubts, but to the certainty of your declaration. The greatest mistake people make is to describe conditions as they are, instead of declaring them as they desire them to be. They say, "I am sick," and sickness strengthens. They say, "I am poor," and poverty is confirmed. They say, "I am unlucky," and misfortune multiplies. Yet the power of faith is to speak as if it is already done, to claim the end result with conviction, to hold the picture of completion so firmly that every force of the universe aligns to make it so. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that you must speak the word as if the thing you seek is already in your hand, because in truth, in the unseen, it already exists. The unseen supply precedes the seen manifestation, and your declaration calls it forth. When you say, "I am wealthy now," You are not lying to yourself. You are affirming the truth that wealth exists in spirit and is moving into your experience. When you say, "I am healed now," you are not denying symptoms, you are affirming the reality of health that already belongs to you. When you say, "The doors of opportunity are wide open," you are not pretending, you are declaring what is real in the unseen and summoning it into the seen. The law is that the end must be spoken before it can be experienced. You do not wait for evidence to declare it, you declare it, and the evidence appears. This is why Jesus said, "When you pray, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." To believe you have received means to speak and act as though it is already accomplished. To walk as though the victory is already won, to give thanks as though the blessing has already arrived, to affirm as though the answer is already complete. This attitude of finality, this sense of completion, is what compels the universe to move quickly on your behalf. When you speak the end, you bypass the delays of fear and doubt. Fear is always concerned with the "what if?" Doubt is always focused on the "not yet." But faith speaks the already. Fear says, "What if it doesn't happen?" Faith says, "It is already done." Doubt says, "Maybe someday." Faith says, "It is here now." Every time you hold to the end and speak it as present reality, you cut off the endless circling of uncertainty and give the universe a clear, decisive command. The subconscious hears it, the unseen responds to it, and circumstances begin to shift. Gratitude is a powerful companion to speaking the end. When you give thanks for something as though it is already here, you anchor it more deeply in your consciousness. To say, "Thank you for my abundance," even before you see it, is to affirm that it is already secured in the unseen. To say, "Thank you for my healing," even when symptoms linger, is to declare that healing is complete. Gratitude seals the spoken word with certainty because it carries the vibration of fulfillment. You do not give thanks for what you hope will come, you give thanks for what you know is yours. Speaking the end also shifts your energy and behavior. When you declare, "I am successful," you carry yourself differently, you make choices aligned with success, you attract people who recognize success in you. When you affirm, "I am prosperous," you stop acting from fear of lack and begin to act from confidence in supply. When you say, "I am loved and valued," you raise your vibration and naturally attract relationships that mirror that truth. The spoken end not only directs the universe, it reshapes you into alignment with the very reality you are declaring. You must also speak the end consistently, for inconsistency delays manifestation. If one day you declare, "I am abundant," but the next day you complain, "I never have enough," you send conflicting signals, and the universe cannot fulfill a divided command. Speak the end firmly, steadily, without wavering, until it becomes the dominant vibration of your life. The unseen does not respond to half-hearted wishes, it responds to unwavering certainty. The more you hold the end in your words, the more swiftly it materializes in form. When you speak the end, you are living in the vibration of faith, and faith is magnetic. It pulls the unseen into the seen, it draws supply from every corner, it opens doors no man can shut, it moves mountains of resistance. Speaking the end is not about forcing, it is about aligning. It is about declaring what is already true in spirit and allowing the universe to deliver it into form. The moment you dare to speak your desire as completed, the universe rushes to arrange the details, to bring the right people, to open the right channels, to align the timing, so that what was spoken becomes what is seen.